Voting at the Brownsville libraries comes with new guidelines. Hear what you are expected to abide by when you vote on Election Day. The new leader at the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation is laying out the vision to moving the city's economic development opportunities in the best direction. And November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. You need to know to mitigate or manage the disease. Your BTV News begins right now. Good day, Brownsville. I'm Rudy Mideles, and welcome to this edition of Brownsville TV News. We are coming to you from the CMD complex in downtown Brownsville, and we are so glad to have you with us. Arriving at a city-run polling place looks different this year. There are rules in place prohibiting the placement, display, or distribution of political signs or literature at city-run voting locations. Violations of these rules may result in a hefty fine. It's our top story. Brownsville TV News reporter Jennifer Galvan leads us off.
In anticipation of the November elections, the City of Brownsville has implemented important updates to its electioneering policies impacting all city-owned polling locations. The newly adopted ordinance number 2024-1751, adopted in August, outlines clear guidelines on where and how campaigning activities can occur, aiming to create a fair, safe, and accessible voting experience. The ordinance establishes specific boundaries for electioneering activities.
So the election ordinance, what it does is it limits the extent of electioneering that can occur. And so we had, it is prohibited for an individual to approach a moving vehicle, and it is also not encouraged that if they are approaching someone and the individual asks to be left alone, then that individual that's electioneering would have to adhere to that.
The ordinance includes a 100 buffer zone around polling entrances, restricting the placement of campaign materials, and prohibits certain items like loudspeakers and food trucks. Violations could lead to fines, with penalties reaching up to $2,000 for significant infractions. In addition, each candidate is responsible for maintaining the cleanliness of their designated areas. City officials are encouraging candidates and the public to familiarize themselves with these policies.
I think it's important to remember that the polling locations are there to help people cast their ballots and make their choices. And you want to do that in an environment that you don't feel like you're being pressured or you're being coerced or there's distractions going on there. It really is should be a very quiet experience. And this year, like any other year, you can't engage in political activity within 100 feet of the polling location. Like I said, once the voter is in line, they need to have the peace while they're making their choices.
The approved ordinance ensures that electioneering is conducted responsibly, upholding the integrity and accessibility of the voting process in Brownsville. For Brownsville TV News, I'm Jennifer Galvan.
Canvassing outside of a 100-foot buffer zone is allowed, but must be done so in designated areas. A violation of these rules are considered a misdemeanor. The first offense calls for a warning. Violations beyond that can cost you up to $2,000. Veterans Park next to the Brownsville Public Library on Central Boulevard has a new monument, a Huey helicopter. The UH-1 Iroquois helicopter was used in the Vietnam War, and local U.S. veterans wanted a piece of that history right here in their backyard. Members of the Warriors United in Arms raised the funds to purchase and have the helicopter installed. Brownsville TV News reporter Laura B. Martinez has the story.
A new piece of history now sits at Veterans Park, thanks to the dedication of a group of veterans determined to get back to their community. For several members of Warriors United in Arms, the Huey helicopter they helped bring to Veterans Park serves as a powerful reminder of their time fighting in the Vietnam War.
First thing that came to mind was the smell. The aviation fuel, when they were refueling the helicopter, I remember the smell of dry blood of wounded soldiers that we evacuated. I remember the very distinct sound of the helicopter. We could hear it, or you could hear it 7 miles away, especially when there was a whole squadron of them flying. I mean, you could feel the vibrations in your chest.
Over 3,500 helicopters went to Vietnam, and 50% of them were lost in combat. The helicopter at Veterans Park was shot down twice, refurbished, and placed back into action.
We were actually very elated when the idea came about because the helicopter has been a vital importance during the Vietnam War, especially, carrying troops, bringing supplies, and carrying out wounded soldiers.
28 servicemen from Brownsville were killed in the Vietnam War. The veterans dealt with a man near the Fort Worth area who restored helicopters, and they found out he had the helicopter they were looking for. Fundraisers were held, and through a generous donation from an anonymous donor, the group were able to buy the helicopter. Once the helicopter was brought back to Brownsville, retired Army veteran Jose Serrano began to work on it. He helped maintain helicopters like the one at Veterans Park back in Vietnam.
When all the soldiers came in and the pilots and they took off on their mission, and I worked every night and had them all ready to go in the morning. I did a lot of flying in Vietnam also as a crew chief, and so it was my lifelong dream since I was a child.
For Brownsville TV News, I'm Laura B. Martinez.
Members of the Warriors United in Arms will be presenting the Huey helicopter to the city of Brownsville in an official ceremony scheduled to be held on Veterans Day at Veterans Park at 10:30 a.m. The public is invited. Staying with U.S. Veterans news, Brownsville residents come together to honor current and former U.S. military serving men and women. The 24th annual Southmost Veterans Day Parade paid tribute to our nation's heroes who live right here in Brownsville. The event was hosted by the Southmost Veterans Day Parade Committee and the city. The parade started at Porter High School and made its way down Southmost Boulevard. It ended at Cromack Elementary School on East 30th Street.
Well, there was a lot of us that went, and some of them didn't come back. So it's always an honor whenever Veterans Day or Memorial Day is with us, because you never stop remembering those people that put their lives on the line for us.
More than 120 participants joined the Southmost Veterans Day Parade, including local schools, high school bands, and veterans organizations. The parade showcased vehicles carrying veterans, patriotic performances by various bands. In addition, 6 veteran honorees were recognized for their exceptional contributions to the nation's defense. They included U.S. Air Force veteran Dr. Joe Hinojosa, U.S. Army veteran Ramiro V. Ramos, U.S. Air Force veteran Jose Galvan Jr., and U.S. Marine Corps veteran Luis Cesar Villarreal, U.S. Army veteran Fred Kowalski, and U.S. Army veteran Vanessa Flores. The City of Brownsville salutes and thanks all U.S. veterans for their service to our country. In other news, the City of Brownsville is opening doors for local university students through a new paid internship program. It's called the Texas Internship Challenge. It's a new collaboration between the city and the Texas Working Off-Campus Reinforcing Knowledge and Skills Internship Program, also known as Texas Works. Through the program, the city aims to share the diverse career opportunities in public service. Through a 50-50 cost-sharing arrangement, interns earn $15 an hour, with the state and city each covering half the cost. It's a partnership that makes the program a perfect match for Brownsville's strategic vision to engage the leaders of tomorrow. City departments that will welcome interns in January include the City Manager's Office, the Downtown Manager's Office, the Parks and Recreation Department, the Engineering and Public Works Department, and the Brownsville Public Library.
It can help our students understand government, local government, and the complexity. We have over 1,200 employees in the city of Brownsville. Believe it or not, we're almost at a population of 200,000. So there's a lot of opportunity to help, to support, and assist our city as we grow.
If you're a university student interested in applying for an internship opportunity with the city, you must submit your application, letter of interest, and resume on the state's website. The web address is on your screen. Those offered an internship opportunity will also be required to complete a pre-internship screening. Opportunity for further economic growth is on the horizon for Brownsville. The city's economic development branch, the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation's new executive director and CEO, Gilbert Salinas, recently sat down with us. He shared targeted areas of opportunity to move forward. Brownsville TV News reporter Laura B. Martinez has this report.
The Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, or GBIC, is on a mission to boost economic growth in Brownsville. By empowering a young and skilled workforce, GBIC aims to drive innovation and attract new opportunities to the area. The organization works closely with regional and international partners to foster growth in key areas, including job creation, workforce training, innovation, and manufacturing.
We're selling Brownsville for inbound investment. Our goal is to look at foreign direct investment.
One major project GBIC has been working on is the growth of the North Industrial Park.
And it really took off here in the last few years. I think we broke ground in 2011 or 2012. Not a lot of traction back then, but it was very forward thinking of the organization and the community as well to be able to start working on that industrial park because there was a need for it. Development
of an 80 to 90 acre industrial park began, and companies began moving into the park, which is nearly sold out.
Once some of the companies started coming in, like a SpaceX, and then the LNG started making some noise, that's when this organization started seeing an uptick in activity. So I like to say that big fish draws other big fish, and we started seeing that effect.
Industrial parks house light manufacturing and advanced manufacturing companies as well as warehouses. GBIC is already looking at some other land along the SH 550 corridor that it hopes to develop into another industrial park.
And we're seeing some other industrial areas popping up around town. So now we can use this to enhance what we already have, and again, gives us those tools that we need to be able to recruit additional industry.
For Brownsville TV News, I'm Laura B. Martinez.
Salinas previously served as GBIC's interim executive director and chief executive officer between 2016 and 2018. Since then, he served the community of Kerrville, where he led the Economic Development Corporation there. Out at the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport, there will soon be a runway renovation project underway to further enhance plane arrivals and the overall travel experience. Airport officials tell us January 2025 will kick off a $35 million reconstruction project of runway 1836. The runway is used daily by United Airlines, American Airlines, and AIS Air Lions, with nonstop flights from Brownsville to Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Monterrey, Mexico. The renovation project will be completed in 3 years. The first phase will cost an estimated $10 million, which is being funded by a grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. The newest commercial airline at the Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport is connecting family, friends, and business owners on a daily basis. AIS Air Lions continues seeing good flow of passengers between the border city and the capital city of Nuevo Leon. Travelers say they value the proximity of Brownsville to South Padre Island, taking them a mere 25 minutes or less to get to the beach resort town. As a reminder, you can book your travel into Mexico on the AIS website. It's right there on your screen. The city of Brownsville is creating safer bus stop areas for customers of the Brownsville Metro system. Those areas along city streets where buses once stopped will soon be replaced. The curb cuts will be replaced by new 5-foot wide sidewalks to create a safer and more accessible environment for pedestrians. Currently, these curb cuts are unused and buses have been relocated to stops more appropriate. The city aims to complete this project at 6 key locations, prioritizing safety and convenience for those walking or using wheelchairs. The upgrade will prevent pedestrians from having to navigate flooded areas or come near vehicular traffic.
It's for the pedestrians, so it can be safe for pedestrians to walk down South Coast. We're going to have 6 locations. They're going to be redone, remove the curb cut, put a sidewalk, a 5-foot sidewalk, so the pedestrians can go ahead and walk down South Coast without any danger of a car or anybody hitting them. I know that the curb cuts get flooded sometimes, so it will ease the traffic for pedestrians down South Coast.
Funding of $176,000 for this initiative comes from the Community Development Block Grant. The City Commission is set to review the construction contract in November at a regularly scheduled meeting. Once approved, work may start early next year. The project will take an estimated 6 to 8 weeks to complete. In downtown Brownsville, the Water and Wastewater Improvement Project is well underway. This city initiative is modernizing pipelines in the alleyways behind downtown businesses and residential complexes. The project began in July and is updating pipe systems that have been in use for more than 50 years. The project is being completed in 2 phases.
Project 1 entailed the replacement of strictly wastewater or sewer lines. These sewer lines run in the alleyways between basically 7th Street towards the Gateway Bridge or 14th Street. The contractor began on the downstream side, which was 7th Street, and so far he's completed between 7th Street and 11th Street. He has been replacing very much needed aging infrastructure.
The need to rebuild downtown's water and wastewater infrastructure has become increasingly urgent in recent years. The number of properties being restored, repurposed, and returned to commerce continues to grow rapidly. The ambitious $14.5 million project is funded by the city's grant from the American Rescue Plan Act. Brownsville's business owners in need of expansion may have a way to fund that growth. One of the city's economic development divisions, the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, has 2 programs that offer financial assistance. Brownsville TV News reporter Adalberto Guzman has more.
The IBRIDGE Fund is a revolving loan program available to businesses in Cameron County. It offers loans from $15,000 to $50,000 with interest rates as low as 6.35% and up to 15 years to pay, depending on the purpose of the loan. This fund is designed for businesses that cannot secure traditional bank financing or seek more competitive rates. It can be used for working capital, real estate, machinery, and equipment, providing flexible financial support for businesses looking to scale up, relocate, or create jobs in the community. For Brownsville TV News, I'm Adalberto Guzman.
To learn more about business support programs, visit the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation's website. The address is on your screen. You can also reach out to them by calling their office. That number is also on your screen. The City of Brownsville recently hosted the Greater Finance Officers Association for an educational session. The meeting was attended by the city's finance department staff along with other local governments' finance teams. The meeting featured forthcoming changes to government accounting standards set forth by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. Transparency and reporting standards was a key topic, which helps organizations prepare better public reports.
These are all just an effort by the financial institutes to provide more clarity of financials that are presented to the public for awareness, and so that all governing boards are presenting their financials equally across the board, so it can be easily read by the public.
The educational session was attended by nearly 24 professionals from Brownsville and beyond. In a continuing effort to further enhance the quality of museums in Brownsville, the city is now collaborating with a museum consultant. The consultant's goal? To enrich the city's museum and historical locations with strategy and vision for advancement. Museum consultant Dr. Candace Metelick is currently working with the city to reimagine the way it presents local art, history, and culture. Locations being evaluated include the city's cultural museums like Museo de Arte, historical locations like Market Square, and attractions that include the Gladys Porter Zoo.
There's an amazingly rich concentration of that original historic fabric. So that's wonderful. It's a wonderful resource and something that distinguishes Brownsville and should be certainly preserved and taken care of. It's not just for tourists coming in from outside to learn about Brownsville. It's for Brownsville's own citizens to take pride and learn about their own history and celebrate their arts and culture.
Dr. Metelick, along with city representatives, are expected to meet with diverse members from the community. Conversations will revolve around understanding what residents want to see and experience when visiting local museums. This includes what interests do they have so that they better engage with local attractions. Through this initiative, the city is aiming to create a more attractive cultural district and revitalize its historical locations and museums. Staying on local attractions, the city's Medi Cultural District, founded by Roy F. and Joanne Cole Medi, works to bring community and visitors together. They are making efforts to create memorable experiences for all. Brownsville TV News reporter Deborah Rodriguez has this story.
In the heart of downtown Brownsville lies Brownsville's Medi Cultural District. The Medi Cultural District stretches from Gladys Porter Zoo to the Heritage Museum of Brownsville, and since its inception in 1998, it has aimed at enhancing the well-being and quality of life of the community through cultural, educational, and artistic experiences.
We have tons of events going on. There's every weekend during the week, you have a lot going on. Every Saturday we have the farmers market on Linear Park. We also have a lot of events going on at the zoo, as well as in Market Square. At night we always have First Friday on the first Friday of the month, as well as artistic experiences throughout the district.
Signature events hosted by Medi Cultural District include the Day of the Dead celebration, Fiesta de Vida, and Medi in Motion, a festival offering Brownsville residents the opportunity to connect and learn from a variety of figures in the film industry. In addition to this, the district collaborates with the City of Brownsville, Brownsville museums, and downtown businesses to provide year-round events for everyone such as First Friday, Brownsville Farmers Market, art exhibits, trivia nights, health activities, and more.
It's important that, we continue to collaborate in these types of experiences, that we don't only just provide, shops and coffee, and there's also events and experiences going on within each area.
From Brownsville TV News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
You can follow the Medi Cultural District on their social media platforms. They're on Instagram, and you can visit their website. That web address is on your screen. The City of Brownsville offers numerous services to residents throughout the year. One of those services that seems to brighten people's lives is that of pet adoptions. It's a service provided through the Brownsville Animal Rescue and Care Center, known as BARC. Brownsville TV News reporter Monica Llanas gives us an inside look into the department's labor of love.
Brownsville's Animal Regulation and Care Center, or BARC, plays a crucial role in caring for the community's pets and strays, offering affordable and essential services. Today, we explore how BARC is working to keep pets safe and healthy, and the exciting plans they have in store for next year. BARC's mission extends beyond housing and adopting out animals. The center provides services like microchipping with a fee as low as $5. In addition to microchipping, BARC ensures that every animal is spayed or neutered and vaccinated before going to a new home, addressing community health and controlling pet populations.
As soon as the animal is here at the facility, the animal is immediately vaccinated. We know that distemper and parvo, especially in puppies, is very common here in South Texas. And so we want to begin building resistance to those diseases as quickly as possible.
To make pet care even more accessible, BARC is already planning their yearly low-cost vaccine clinic next year. This initiative helps our community get essential vaccines for their pets at an affordable price, supporting responsible pet ownership.
We're at the actual animal shelter, but for the most part, we try to spread them out and get them closer to you by utilizing various campuses at BISD.
And for those who want to help but may not be ready for adoption, BARC offers a fostering program. Fostering can be a great way to support animals in need without a long-term commitment.
Break out of the shelter while they wait for their forever home. And so if you have the ability to keep an animal for a week, 2 weeks, just to give them out of the stressful environment of the shelter, that would be a huge impact on the animal's well-being and mental health.
For Brownsville TV News, I'm Monica Llanas.
And Brownsville residents do love their pets. BARC officials tell us they see more than 1,100 pet adoptions a year at their facility. And that's not counting remote adoption events they do throughout the community. You can always visit the facility in North Brownsville. Their address is on your screen. You can also call them at the number on your screen. And speaking of BARC, the department recently hosted its annual fundraiser, a Toast to Tails Gala at the Brownsville Event Center, and animal lovers came out in full support. Event coordinators tell us they raised more than $50,000 for the center. It was a sold-out event, and the gala featured an evening of food, music, auctions, and celebration. Raised funds will be used to expand resources for shelter pets, covering essential medical care and advancing adoption initiatives. On behalf of the City of Brownsville, thank you to all of you who joined this event and made a difference in our pet population. To your health now. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. It's a disease that shows to be approximately 20% higher right here in South Texas than in other parts of the country. Health experts say it's important to stay informed on what you can do to prevent diabetes or better manage the impact of it. Brownsville TV News reporter Juan Castellanos has our health report.
Diabetes is a chronic condition that causes your body to produce insufficient amounts of insulin or to use it improperly. The populations most likely to develop diabetes are Latinos, African Americans, people who are overweight, and people over the age of 50. However, there are other things that may lead to diabetes.
Some of the main causes of diabetes is having family history, being overweight, not being active, having when you had gestational diabetes. That's some of the causes of diabetes.
Developing uncontrolled diabetes can lead to complications including eye, kidney, nerve, heart, and brain damage. In some cases, diabetes may also lead to amputations.
Someone can find out if they have diabetes is by having a doctor's visit, having blood work, okay? In this lab work, they will have some exams that will determine if you have diabetes or not.
In order to prevent the onset of diabetes, it is important to make healthier lifestyle choices, including implementing a healthier diet and increasing your physical activity. Those who have been diagnosed with diabetes can prevent the development of uncontrolled diabetes by implementing the same healthier lifestyle choices as well as by having regular checkups with their doctor. The City of Brownsville's Department of Health, Wellness, and Animal Services offers a variety of programs throughout the year to help Brownsville residents make healthier lifestyle choices.
We have a Cocina Alegre, that's a Happy Kitchen. That's a course that it's for 6 weeks. It's once a week. And we have a diabetes prevention program. That's a 1-year program that it's for people to prevent diabetes. And also we have the challenge that's once a year that we have it. That's to lose weight, and that's for the community. Also, we have some free classes for the community. Also, different parks, and we have yoga, we have Zumba, strength and conditioning. So these are programs free for the community.
For Brownsville TV News, I'm Juan Castellanos.
Medical experts advise prediabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is reversible. According to doctors, it can be reversed with lifestyle changes. The condition can also be managed through lifestyle changes and medication. Best advice? See your family doctor to know the health status. One of the possible complications caused by diabetes is eye disease. About 1/3 of people with diabetes over the age of 40 can develop some form of diabetic eye disease. It's caused by high levels of glucose in your blood, which can cause damage to the blood vessels in the back of your eyes. Symptoms of diabetic eye disease may be gradual, so it could be possible that you don't know you have it until it has caused serious damage to your vision. For this reason, it's important to get regular eye exams. Through full dilated eye exams, your doctor can find and treat any eye problems early before any vision loss occurs. The best way to prevent diabetic eye disease is to manage your diabetes and quitting smoking if you smoke. The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley here in Brownsville announces how it plans to make advancements in the treatment of diseases like diabetes. The university has opened a research center for human genetics. The facility features cutting-edge technology, including advanced gene imaging, MRI capabilities, and a vivarium to support essential genetic studies. These resources will enable 19 faculty members and 19 graduate students to drive forward research that addresses health challenges, including diabetes, obesity, and heart disease.
Until you fully understand the genetic component of diabetes, you can't successfully treat it. And so, yes, you can ameliorate it, but as we understand the genetic component and as we're able to understand the relationship between environmental and genetic lifestyle issues, we'll be able to begin to resolve that problem of diabetes and obesity. And you know the Valley as well as I do. This is absolutely crucial for our well-being and health.
As UTRGV continues to expand, expect more faculty, research opportunities, and crucial medical advancements that could transform healthcare outcomes for generations to come. finally, downtown Brownsville plays host to a music video. The band Texas Love Cartel from Austin came into town, scheduled a performance at the city's first Friday event, and filmed their world premiere music video at Market Square. The band, led by Brownsville native Albert Bastedo, performed the new song Downtown Brownsville. The song was written for Bastedo's love of his hometown. He shared with us this was an amazing opportunity for him to share his heartfelt passion for Brownsville.
Brownsville to me is like a movie set, you know, and everywhere is historic. You know, we could portray all kinds of worlds here, but the truth is the world we have here is something very much to appreciate. And the song Downtown Brownsville, Downtown Brownsville's a homage to that, you know.
The band will soon release the song they performed for the first time at Market Square. It's part of their debut album, Shine. The Texas Love Cartel aims to connect Austin, Brownsville, and the Gulf Coast with their unique sound that leans towards soul, rock, and country blues. And before we go, I want to invite you to connect with us and stay up to date on Brownsville news and information. Scan that QR code on your screen or sign up at brownsvilletx.gov. That is all our time for now. For the One City News Network, I'm Rudy Mireles. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time.